Yo, what is up guys, FaZe here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the Amx-Cda 105. This is a French premium tier 8 tank destroyer that you were actually able to get for completely free, and that is why I think I should go and do a review on it really quickly. Now this vehicle, if you haven't already gotten it already, all you need to do is 350,000 points of worth of damage and you would award yourself this tier 8 premium tank for absolutely free. Now this tank is going to be turned into a collector's vehicle in the next update, which is in a few hours or so from now when I'm recording this video. It should be releasing on the 17th, which the 17th is today. So it's going to be turned into a collector's vehicle that you can sell for gold, which I would actually not recommend selling your collector tanks from now on, because if you don't know, collector tanks are going to actually be more expensive to sell them, or at least they're going to be the same price to sell them, but if you want to buy them back, they're going to be more expensive. It's not going to be that when you sell something it's 2,000 gold for instance, and when you want to buy it back it's also 2,000 gold. That is not the case any longer. So I would suggest keeping your tanks, just because it's going to be impossibly hard to get them back, and it's going to cost a lot more, and it's just not going to be worth it in the long run. So yeah, talking about the CDA now, this is a very mobile tank destroyer. As you can see here, I'm going upwards of 50 kilometers in the first few seconds of this game, and I can honestly say that I can keep up with like tier 8 medium tanks and light tanks pretty respectively. So this vehicle is not slow in any means, but it also means that it doesn't have the greatest armor out there. The only time you're actually going to get some good armor out of this is if you go fully held down using that respective of 8 degrees of gun depression, which is not bad, really not bad. And as you can see there, the alpha is not bad either. Doing 424 to that light tank over there is not fun on his behalf, I can guarantee you that. Now 8 degrees is good, but it doesn't mean that you can use a lot of ridgelines. It just means that some ridgelines will be able to be used with this vehicle, which is pretty sweet. Now I am using the ratings battles, like I mentioned. The matchmaker is going to be coming back, which is pretty sweet. But it's not back yet, and I don't want to go and dwell around with the bad matchmaker. That's just not fun. So yeah, I'm playing in ratings for this review, which I mean it's not too different from the normal game mode, so it's fine. Let's see if we can farm out these pairs. Now, as you can see, I'm not completely front line, but I am like second line. As you can see, this Tiger taking the shots for me, I end up doing the damage for him. So the actual DPM of this vehicle is pretty sweet. I'm not going to go face that SMB straight on, because that would just be very silly, because this vehicle doesn't have armor, like I mentioned. Now, I do want to try get rid of this SMB as soon as possible, so we're going to quickly and use our maneuverability to get to the side of this SMB over here. I'm going to go for a track shot. Oh, never mind. I took so long with the track shot that I actually ended up not putting any damage out there. So yeah, let's back up here. Don't want the Barras to dump both these shells onto me. That would be quite ridiculous, actually. I would lose all my HP just for this one little light tank. Now he is running away, so I'm going to try get a shot out, but it doesn't quite get out there, unfortunately. Now the 752 is still alive here, and that CDA is running away from me, so I'm just going to go for the 752. He's probably going to go for me, but I have just enough HP to take both shots here, so that's not really a problem for me. As you can see, take both shots, I'm still fine. Now the armor, like I said, isn't going to bounce anything, especially in this position. I'm directly facing him onwards, and that's not how you want to angle this vehicle. Obviously, like I said, you want to be fully held down if you want to bounce any shots. Now the only thing that's left is that CDA and this M4yo. So yeah, this is a pretty sweet game, quite of a clear on my team's behalf. We just completely ruined them. So yeah, this CDA is actually a very fun tank. The one issues I do find with it is that the gun arc, as you can see, the gun doesn't really turn much. So that kind of means that a lot of the times my gun, I'm going to have to turn the tank in order to actually get the gun to face somebody, which does suck. That CDA does end up taking 600 damage there, which is unfortunate. That means that there's not much farm left for me to dish out here, and he might die to the 252U, which he does. Now first game went pretty sweet. I'm going to play one more game for you guys, just because I love the CDA. It is a very fun tank destroyer at tier 8. Now there's a lot of better alternatives to this vehicle at tier 8. This first game we didn't pull out a huge amount of damage. We did 2,500. Hopefully our next game will dish out a bit more damage game in the Amx-Cda. Now this tank is a very nice tank in the terms of its mobility. Like I mentioned, the gun is very accurate, and there's a few little other nitpicks that I don't really like about it. Like I mentioned, the armor could be a bit better, something like having something similar to the WZ120. Maybe not exactly the same, but maybe even just a little bit less than the 120's armor would suit this tank a hell of a lot, because that angle over there of this frontal plate seems as if it should bounce a lot of shells, but it really doesn't. And even when you're fully held down, you still have that hatch that people can pen, and the armor isn't anything great as well if you're fully held down. The only thing that'll try and bounce is maybe medium tanks AP rounds. So it does really suck that this tank doesn't have like crazy armor or something, because it kind of just looks like it should have. I don't know what you guys think, but this tank just looks like it should have a lot of armor. Now, that shot there might get me spotted. No, it doesn't. Now, that is another thing I should mention about this vehicle, is that it has pretty decent camo rating. Now, if you chose to run camo net on this vehicle, you wouldn't be like unsurprised, because it's going to keep you unspotted a hell of a lot, which is very nice. There's another CDA on the enemy team. Doesn't seem like I can HE him, but it doesn't really matter because he's basically dead. I'm going to back up because I don't have a camo net just in case I get spotted here. And I don't, which is pretty sweet. Like I mentioned, camo is pretty good. That's a very awful shot by me. Barask might spot me there. No, he doesn't. There is a Scorpion G. That is something I should be able to pen with a high explosive, but, you know, we never know because he's still behind the building over there. That is also another unfortunate miss, and now I have a Lover on my left, and we somehow bounce him. What? I'm busy talking about how bad the armor is, and I just go and bounce his freaking Lover, which is very unfortunate for him. I don't know what he's shooting at, because he's just bouncing me non-stop. Hopefully I'm not juxing anything. I'm going to get ruined on the right there. Hopefully my team can actually start pushing that guy over there. There we go. That's the usual thing that's going to happen against, especially like a Lover or something. I am going to be penned almost every single time. Now that's an unfortunate bounce. Don't know how that happened. Team, can you actually move or something? Can that be something that we do here? Because otherwise we're just going to lose for nothing. We're going to get another round into the ground apparently. Now the gun depression on this vehicle is 8 degrees, which is actually pretty sweet, but as you can see here, it's kind of like not enough to use even a small ridgeline like that. I'm going to go for a little track on this Lover. I do want to back up, but yeah, my team is just not helping me out here. I mean, they are pushing the guys in the back there at least, so that is one aspect that is going well in this game. I'm going to go for this Carnarvon. As you can see, the aiming time not too great if I'm quite far back or at least moving. So equipment is something you really want to put on this vehicle, especially if you want to make that gun a lot more easier to use, because in this scenario, yeah, it's not doing the deed as much as it probably should be. There we go. I take another shot. I was fully held down there. That was full gun depression, and he still pinned me, no problem. And that is the one issue about this vehicle that I'm having here, is that I feel like it really should have more armor, and it really doesn't. And that is the one letdown for me regarding this vehicle, is that I wish it did have more armor. That is the one thing I could possibly say about this tank. Give the CDA more armor, Wargaming, please. But there we go. Another decent game. I didn't do a hell of a lot of damage, but I did end up surviving against a Lover, which is pretty sweet. It kind of shows you how decent the tank can be. I missed quite a bunch of shots there, which is unfortunate. I think I can improve the gun handling just by getting equipment, so I would suggest just getting equipment on this vehicle. If you do have that credits lying around, then definitely put it onto this vehicle, because you can get upwards of 3k or close to 3k DPM if you run gun rammer, and the pen, if you want more pen, you can get 341 mils on your heat round, which is absolutely crazy. You'll pin everything at the tier with no problem. So yeah, definitely a fantastic tank. I do enjoy the CDA quite a bit. Its mobility and its gun is very fun. Other aspects, not the greatest. I mean, gun handling can be a little bit mediocre now and then, and the armor is definitely nothing to write home about, especially like if you're fully held down. Light tanks can pen you no problem. You also still have that big ass hatch on the top. So yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of bug this tank down a bit, but you know what, overall it is a fun tank. It is free, it earns you credits. Just go with it, get the tank. If you're contemplating not getting it because it might not be good or not, it's a free tier A tank. Just go for it, and you're not going to be disappointed because it is a pretty decent tank. So anyways guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. With that being said, hope your shells hit their marks, and I'll check you in the next one. Cheers.